In the same way that wins, losses, and stats are all at the basic core of sports, unfortunately, so are injuries. It seems that half the battle in competition is just staying healthy. Right now in the East Bay, there is a former professional athlete who has found a breakthrough way of keeping current players healthy. For decades, injured athletes have been using the same four-step technique to recover: rest, ice, compression, and elevation. But now U.S. Olympian and Stanley Cup champion Brett Hedican is spreading the word on something relatively new: ARP Wave technology.
I think our society is cut on a certain way and a certain mold of what therapy should look like. And I went down that path and it didn't work for me. And I've seen some of the best physical therapists in the world and some of the best doctors in the world. And I brilliant people, and I give them that. But what happened was it never got me to the point where I could go back on the ice pain-free and play at the highest level at which I wanted to play at. And so I don't think it's a really hard sell. I'm not trying to sell this on people. I'm just trying to say that there's another option out there for you. And this option is pretty amazing. It did incredible things with my career and my life. And now I'm just passionate about it.
Hedican was treated with this accelerated recovery performance machine, which he says extended his NHL career by 4 years. It is DC current passed through the body by pads on the skin, which help find the origin or root of the disruption instead of the pain itself.
Really, you got to get your muscles turned back on to start absorbing forces that you're doing. Just everyday walking is an absorption of force. And so if your body can't even absorb the force of walking, that pain goes into your spine. And so you've got to get those muscles to do its job, which is elongate and start to absorb force.
Hedican's ARP clinic here in Walnut Creek treats customers with ACL and MCL injuries, back pain, tendinitis, and more, oftentimes even preventing the need for surgery itself. This is more than just a job for a retired hockey player.
I just always have been so passionate about what I went through in this system. Now I'm just wanting to share it with people. I want to give people in this Bay Area the opportunity to be able to try something that if they're going down the path of not feeling good, if they're going down the path of not being able to run, play tennis, play golf, do all the things that you love to do, the body's capable of doing it. You've just got to give it the opportunity. And that is what I'm trying to give people here, is the opportunity to let their body work again.